Hi, I'm Morella DeVoe of Thrive with Morella. This is the second exercise in a series of 3 videos that I'm putting together to help you shift the stubborn patterns that keep repeating in your life over and over and over, even when you want to change them. In the first video, I took you through a little process to help you identify this pattern, kind of tease it out from your subconscious mind and see it in the light. This exercise takes it deeper. In fact, this exercise is a really profound exercise that I've been using with my clients for years. It's actually also a core part of the Mending the Heart Retreat, which we facilitate several times a year, so I invite you to check that out as well. But what it is, it's a powerful set of questions, and I'm going to walk you through each one of those questions that helps you to start to shift the way you're experiencing yourself in the context of a pattern or even in the context of a wound. It can be an old wound from the past, something that's been lingering, something that you haven't been able to let go. And so what I want to invite you to do is to get pen and paper so that you can actually write and use the time to reflect on each one of these questions so that it can be of service to you. And I want to offer a little bit of perspective on this process. It's really powerful, and it's going to bring stuff up, especially if you're working on something that's been painful for a while and something that has been difficult, that there might be a lot of emotion around that. So it is going to bring some of that stuff up to the surface, and so it'll help you look at it better. But then in questions 3 and 4, it's going to start to shift things around so you can look at it in a different light. That said, only you know how intense this is for you, and doing this exercise doesn't replace the support and guidance from a counselor, a coach, a facilitator like me, or somebody else who you trust. So this is an opening, this is an opportunity for you to get into it, and you might need some additional support. Okay, so let's get started. The first question is, what is the actual event? What happened? If it's in the past, if it's a memory, what happened? Just write out the scene as if you were watching the play. You were watching it unfold. Spell out the scene as it unfolded. Who was there? What were the events? If it's a pattern that you're living over and over, then write out what's the series of events that happens. If it were a scene in a play, let's take, for example, a pattern with your finances and you're always paying your bills late, I don't know, or not reconciling your bank account. And so what's the pattern that happens? The mail comes in, I put it in a stack, it gets lost in the stack. By the time I get to it, it's already late. I send the payment late, or I don't send the payment at all, and I realize the next month, whatever it is, just spell it out scene by scene. So pause the video now and take some time to write out what happened. Okay, question number 2. How did you feel, or how do you feel about having this pattern, about having this memory, this wound that you haven't been able to let go? What are the feelings here? And feelings run the gamut. There's hurt, disappointment, heartbreak, there's anger, frustration, annoyance, there is anxiety, fear, apprehension. There's all sorts of things that you can connect to. And what I want you to do is close your eyes or read through what you just wrote and notice what are the feelings that surface and write them out. So take a moment to do that. Okay, question number 3. What do you wish would have happened instead? So in the past, in that memory that you're looking at, what do you wish would have happened instead? Take it scene by scene, everything you wrote, and write it as the thing that you would have had rather happen. So let's say somebody hurt you, somebody disappointed you, somebody betrayed you, and you wrote the scene. You may want to write in then, I wish they had spoken with me. I wish they had communicated. I wish they had respected me. I wish they had honored me. I wish they had had integrity. So look at what you wrote and now write the version of what you wish would have happened. What do you wish they would have done instead? And if it's a pattern, What would you like the pattern to look like instead with the bills? I want to open my bills immediately, and I want to pay them on time immediately. I want to, or at least send partial payment, whatever it is. Write your version of what you would rather have happen. So take a moment to do that. Okay, question number 4. This isn't so much a question, but rather a reframing of what you just wrote in question number 3. You're going to take each one of those statements, and you're now going to write them in the first person. So if you're looking at a wound, a hurt from the past, and it was something somebody did, take each one of those sentences, and you're now going to write them in the first person and direct it towards yourself, even if it doesn't make sense. So for example, I wish they had respected me. So you write, I wish I respected me. Or I wish they had honored me. I wish I honor me. And in the case of the pattern of what you're doing, now if you haven't written it in the first person, then take each one of those sentences and write it in the first person. Once you have that, once you've written it all out in the first person, what I want you to look at each one of those sentences and frame it as a power statement, an affirmation. So in the example of the hurt, I honor myself. I respect myself. I communicate. I am a person of integrity. So each one of those sentences, write them out as a power statement. And the same thing with the pattern. Look at the sentences that you've written in the first person and write them as power action statements. I pay my bills on time. I am efficient in opening my mail. I balance my checkbook every single month or twice a month or whatever it is. So take each one of those sentences and write it as a power statement. So take some time to do that and then come back. So now that you've looked at the story, the pattern, what happened, how you felt, or how you feel when you look at this, and then what you would rather have happen, and you've written some, I'm pretty sure there are some powerful statements in there. How are you feeling? How is this showing up for you? What's happening for you? I would love to hear from you. So send me a note. What's come up for you? If it's something that's really moved you, that's triggered some things, I would love to support you. That's obviously what I do. You might also find that you are noticing a shift and you want to go even further. So there's certainly the Mending the Heart retreat that you can check out. I'll probably put that link underneath this video. But if you're feeling like this has been interesting and you would like to learn some more, let me know. And then stay tuned for the third video where I'll share a little bit more depth in terms of what happens with these patterns and these wounds and why they can sometimes be so hard to change and let go of. So stay tuned. I'll see you later. Take care.